What is up, everybody? Welcome back once again to Hot Toys Hotline. As always, if you're new here, please consider subscribing to the channel and drop a like on this video. I would very much appreciate it. As you can see, in front of me today, I have the Hot Toys Fennec Shan from the Book of Boba Fett, also seen in The Mandalorian. This one is a very exciting one for me, guys. This is a figure that is long overdue in my collection. I've had the Boba Fett with throne sitting there for many, many months just waiting for Fennec to sit next to it. So this is very exciting for me. I can't wait to take a deep dive into this box and take a look at the figure and all of those wonderful accessories that she comes with. But of course, first, as always, we're going to take a look around the packaging. You have a beautiful portrait here of Fennec Shand on the box. Of course, moving towards the bottom, we do have that awesome cigar wrapper, and that does wrap around both sides. We do kind of have an almost full body portrait of Fennec on the side here. Moving around to the back, guys, as always, you may pause this if you want to read everything on the back. And then moving around to the side, that just kind of wraps around to the side as well. Real quick, though, let me get this top cover off, and let's take a look at that slip cover art. And there's our slip cover. Really beautiful high-res image of Ming-Na Wen as Fennec Shan there. Absolutely beautiful. But of course, now, as always, it's about that time. Let's get this pesky packaging out of the way, and let's take a look at the clamshell on the inside so we can see how everything arrives to you when it lands on your doorstep. Alright, that's much better. I'll give you guys a bit of a close-up as you can see that beautiful portrait there. I can't wait to take a look at that more in depth. But as we go down, there is everything that is inside the packaging when you do first remove it from the box. But of course now, let me take all of the accessories and the figure out of the box, and we'll take a closer look at all of the details. Well, believe it or not, guys, what we have laid out in front of us, this is it for the accessories. However, with this one, I do think it's probably going to be quality over quantity. Of course, not with the hands, though. I'm always asking for more hands, but without further ado, guys, let's get right into the accessories. First, we're going to start with the hands. As you guys can see, they are kind of a dark black sculpted plastic because she is wearing gloves on her hands. If I flip one of them over, you could see they are really nicely detailed. Nothing too special about them, though, because they are just a glove texture. You have two gun-holding hands. You have a hand to hold that dagger and or the Republic credits that she comes with, or you do have some plain fisted hands. So not a good variety of hands. Of course, I will show you the hands pre-installed on the figure, but Hot Toys, as I always say, I want more, but I know I shouldn't. Next, we do have what I believe are Republic credits, and they also come with this nice little drawstring bag. This is a working drawstring, which is really cool, and you just put the coins in there, and you know, Fennec's got her little sack of Republic credits with her, so I think that's very cool, and this is very nicely stitched, and it's really cool that the drawstring works as well. Next, one of the coolest accessories, in my opinion, is this jug here of spotchka. Obviously, this is a very iconic accessory for this figure, as we see Fennec with it in that special scene at the end of The Mandalorian Season 2, where we see Boba Fett take that Jabba throne and take Jabba's palace for his own. Such a cool scene, and one that I'm definitely looking forward to kind of recreating in my display with Fennec and that Boba on the throne. But really cool accessory. You do have some sculpted plastic in there, kind of mimicking that spotchka inside the jug. Really awesome looking. Really glad that Hot Toys decided to include this. Next, we do have Fennec's iconic, very unique looking helmet. Almost has like a gladiator helmet look to it. Really cool looking helmet. Definitely really worried about putting this on the figure. It does have some foam on the inside, but guys, you always have to be very careful with these because you could scrape that head sculpt if you're not careful. But with that being said, guys, it does look pretty dang good. The weathering is pretty fantastic on this. You not only have some scrapes on the paint, but you have weathering throughout the helmet. And overall, I think this looks pretty excellent. Some top-tier work here from Hot Toys, in my opinion. Next, we'll get this display base out of the way. As you can see, I do have the crotch grabber pre-installed just to show you it all as a whole. Moving down, we do have that awesome Fennec Shan Star Wars metal nameplate. Always love to see those metal nameplates. Unfortunately, they don't do it a lot on Marvel. I would love to see it more across the board because I think it looks really good. Next, we're taking a look at Fennec's kind of DL44 style blaster. Really nicely done blaster here. I love that kind of hint of gold there towards the bottom. I also really love the weathering throughout this piece. I think it looks really good. As you can see, there's a lot of silver dry brushing that really does a great job at mimicking some very realistic weathering. And you do have a really cool looking iron sight on this blaster pistol as well. So overall, really nicely done. Well, it's small but mighty. By the way, shout out to Lane Kramer. Lane, I'm sure you're going to watch this because I know you were really excited about this figure. Lane and I were talking about how small this accessory is and how very easy it will be to lose it, so definitely keep that in mind. This is a very small accessory. It's Fennec's little throwing knife. It's definitely really nicely done. Looks like real metal, no complaints about that. Be careful not to lose this one. And finally, I certainly had to save the best for last. We have Fennec's sniper rifle, blaster rifle, if you will. And this is just totally badass. I love this blaster rifle. I think it's one of the coolest looking rifles in all of Star Wars. I think they did a great job on this design. I love that really cool scope that she has up there. I love the buttstock. I really love everything about it. Not only that, you also have this colorful bandolier here that I think really sets it off. And this is a very nice, substantial, like thick material that they use for this bandolier strap. I think it looks really good. And we kind of have like a futuristic looking muzzle brake on this as well. Overall, this is really nicely done. I'm so excited to pose her with this. And I think Hot Toys did a great job. So with that being said, guys, let me put all the accessories to the side and adjust the camera a little bit. And we'll take a closer look at Fennec Shand from the Book of Boba Fett. Okay, so as always, we got to start with the head sculpt. And with this figure, guys, the head sculpt is the shining star of everything in the box by far. Guys, I got to be honest with you, I own a lot of female figures, especially from the Star Wars universe, and I have to say this is up there with one of the best female head sculpts that Hot Toys has done. I think they did such a fantastic job at capturing Ming-Na Wen and her ageless beauty, as we call it. If we kind of move it from left to right, you could see not only is the facial sculpture excellent, but the hair work is absolutely gorgeous. Overall, guys, what an absolute home run, in my opinion, from Hot Toys. If we zoom in a little bit, and I'll get a little bit closer, you can see that scar detail on her face. Overall, guys, as you could see, what an absolutely beautiful job on this head sculpt. I think they did such a fantastic job, and I'm honestly just gushing over it because I think they nailed her likeness from every single angle, in my opinion. But of course, now guys, I will adjust the lighting to a more yellow light so we could take a look at this head sculpt in a different temperature of lighting. Once again, guys, just absolutely stunning. And I think regardless of what temperature of lighting you use in your display, she's going to look absolutely beautiful. Another thing I wanted to point out, guys, this ponytail here is fully posable, which is really cool. You can see there's some wiring in there. So really, they kind of checked all the boxes with this one. I am super pleased with this head sculpt. But now, guys, let me adjust the lighting back and back up the camera just a little bit, and we'll take a look at the rest of the figure. Alright, so let's take a look at the rest of the figure, guys. Now, I will say, this is a very complex costume design, and I think Hot Toys did an excellent job of replicating that. I will say there is a lot of mixed media here, so you kind of have some soft suede here, you have pleather, really all kinds of different materials going on here, so definitely keep that in mind. But let's get a close-up of all these little details here on the suit. As you can see, all these different squiggly lines and such running throughout the suit. I think it looks absolutely fantastic. Very reminiscent of a Marvel style suit because, you know, they have so many little details in them. I think it looks really good, and there is a bit of texture to this, so it's not just a normal printed design. There's a bit of texture to it, and I think it looks really good. And all of the different little pieces she has attached to her outfit have some weathering on them, both there on the front and on the side as well. And I think it looks really good overall, guys. I really don't have many complaints about the outfit. Of course, I will, before we move on, I will show you what that exposed chest looks like with those robotic guts, so don't worry about that. Let's turn it around to the back, though. There we have another shot of that ponytail, guys. Again, fully posable ponytail, which is really cool. I'll get that out of the way so we can get a close-up of that pattern on the back. Really nicely done. Great detail, and overall, I think it looks pretty fantastic. Moving down a little bit lower, she does have this kind of skirt piece attached to it. And also underneath of here, there is pleather. So again, keep that in mind. A lot of different materials in play here. But overall, it looks really good. These are sculpted plastic, these bracers here. And as you can see, she does have two kind of open, relaxed hands pre-installed on the figure from the box. Moving down, these are sculpted plastic as well. And we do have more of that kind of suede material there. Moving back to the front, though, before I get too carried away, we have more pleather here. The skirt does feel like it has a bit of wiring in it. If not, it's just kind of posable because it's so thick. But you can see it's kind of staying in place. So I would venture to say there is wiring. It's just kind of hard to tell. Moving to the side, though, you can see all those awesome details on there with this kind of orange triangular patch here. Really nicely done. Moving down, of course, to the shoes, as always. We do have some nice weathering, if I can get it to focus there. Yeah, so we have some great dirt weathering on the boots there, and I think that looks really good. We, of course, always, though, have to take a look at the tread as well. Some nice dirt and grime on that tread, and that tread is very nicely detailed, in my opinion. But let me go off camera really quick so I can expose this section here so we can take a look at that robotic abdomen. Alright, so I have it unstrapped from the back. This is just Velcroed in the back, guys, this main belt. And once you un-Velcro that from the back, you are greeted with this robotic abdomen. And as you can see, the details are pretty awesome on that. Just a nice, cool little hidden secret. If you're a fan of the character, obviously you're very familiar with this. And I think that's absolutely awesome and so unique for this figure. I absolutely love it. I think they did a great job, and it's so weird to see kind of that flesh around the edges of that robotic installation there. Really nicely done. I'll get a little bit closer before we move on. Yeah, that looks fantastic, guys. Let me put the belt back on, though, and then we'll move on to the articulation portion of this video. Okay, so taking a look at articulation, of course, we always start with the head, left to right. Not much restriction at all. Of course, you do have that ponytail, but it is posable, so you can, of course, move that out of the way if it's kind of affecting your articulation. I imagine forward, you'll probably have some limitation. So it's kind of due to the design of the neck. Of course, going back, though, it's going to be limited by that ponytail, but of course, you can always kind of pose that out of the way, which is great to see. Now, looking at the shoulders, no issues there, getting a full 90. Absolutely perfect, in my opinion. That's all you could really ask for. Moving forward, a bit of restriction, but really not as much as I thought there would be, considering there are these thick pleather pieces on the shoulder area. Just keep in mind, though, you do kind of have to adjust those or they will get bunched up, as you see there. Don't want to leave it like that over time, in my opinion, or you may cause issues with pleather cracking or deteriorating on you, so definitely keep that in mind. Let's see, guys, if we've broken the single-jointed arm female Star Wars figure curse. Yes, we have. Thankfully, Fennec, out of all people, has it. I was definitely going to be a little bit upset if she didn't, because, you know, for some reason, all of these Star Wars female figures, for the most part, have single-jointed arms, and it really bugs a lot of us, obviously, so that's definitely great to see. Moving down to the abdominal articulation, I'm very curious to see if she has any at all because of that robotic abdomen section. Basically non-existent. Of course, that is due to the special design here. I'm not sad about that. I will take that trade-off. I love how that robotic abdomen looks, so I will take that personally. Also, guys, in terms of the hands, you do have a rocker ball joint here. It is a bit limited by the gauntlets here, so don't expect anything crazy unless you move the gauntlets kind of out of the way and pull them down. Just keep that in mind. This is a thinner cloth material, so I imagine bending at the waist is perfectly fine. Yup, very little restriction there. Of course, you will get a little bit of bounce from that material, but overall, no complaints about that. Moving down to the knee joints, let's see if these are ratcheted. They are not. So far, guys, no ratcheted joints on this one, unfortunately. I hate to report that because I love ratcheted joints. But hey, at least we didn't get those single jointed arms. At least I'm happy about that. And finally, let's see how limited these boots are. Actually, not too bad. As you can see, it's kind of rocking very easily forward and backward. Side to side as well, there's enough clearance. So surprisingly good. I have no complaints about that. Let's see if we can get any rotation at all. Really, that's where the limitation is, obviously, due to the design of the boot. But awesome to see kind of a hidden split cut boot design there. I really dig that. That's going to be it, though, guys, for the articulation segment of this video. Let me throw her in a couple poses, and we'll close out this video. In conclusion, guys, the Hot Toys Fennec Shand is an absolutely fantastic figure. What a great head sculpt, fantastic tailoring, and awesome accessories included with this one. I did purchase my copy of Fennec from Off the Rack, so we'll put a link in the description. That's all I got for you. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. And I'm out.